So I saw this prompt online that said, what is a scam that has sunk its teeth into the public consciousness so much so that people think that this thing is like impossible to do or impossible to create? What would an example of that scam be? And I want to hear your answers in the comments. The answer that I said is the idea that universal basic income is unaffordable. The idea that we can't afford to forgive student loan debt. The idea that we can't afford universal basic health care. And the reason is because our government has a limitless amount of funds, billions, hundreds of billions of which are allocated to our national defense budget. And you might be saying, that's our national defense budget. That's so important. But let me let you in on a little secret. About 33% of our national defense budget, no one knows where that money went. $220 billion. Elon Musk's entire net worth, which, as we've seen with all of the memes that put into perspective how much a billion is to a million, if we can afford to just throw $220 billion in the trash with no paper trail, with no thought to where it even went, if we don't even know where that much money is, how can you with a straight face say, oh my gosh, we can't afford universal basic income. Oh my gosh, we can't afford universal health care. It's like, yeah, we can. We can afford whatever we decide we can afford because it's literally a country that's operating on a deficit. It's operating on a debt. And we already know all of the ways in which that money, once it's recouped into the economy by the lack of people who are literally dying because they can now afford health care, from all the people who can literally afford their basic bills. We know that trickle down economics doesn't work, baby, but we know that trickle up economics does because poor people actually have to spend that money and they can't hoard it in offshore accounts. To really bring my point home, a huge study of 20 years of global wealth demonstrates that the myth, M-Y-T-H, myth of trickle down economics, it's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. The rich are taking most of the gains for themselves. I mean, anyone with a brain could have told you that. So if that's true, why not put the money in the hands of the working poor who desperately need the money for, I don't know, basic necessities like food, water, shelter, healthcare, who are going to then reinvest immediately in the economy and create an economy where everybody can benefit, everybody can win. Why not do that, baby? Because we definitely can't afford it. So that question from the top of the video, what's a myth that's become so normalized? What's a scam that's become so normalized? The scam that it's unaffordable, that the government can't afford it. That's the myth.